I was not a guy that partied a lot. If I played 1,000 NBA games, I probably had a beer the night before 12 of them. I just didn't. That's not what I did. I couldn't do that. And I had teammates, Hall of Fame teammates, that smoked and drank every day and balled every night and could just do it.
Right.
But I had 7 surgeries, I guess, my last 3 years. Had a bunch of metal put in, just bad injuries, playing ball. And right at the end of my career, a doctor gave me some OxyContin for an appendix surgery. And within 2 days, I felt like I was in love. I felt like it made me a nicer person. I feel I've always had some social anxiety and just not feeling comfortable in my surroundings. And I've gotten better with it with age, I guess. But and it made me feel standoffish to people. I know what people are coming up. We're going to talk about basketball. Well, at 20 or at 30, I'd really, I had little kids. I'm over it. But the second I took that medicine, it made me feel like a better person, like a nicer human being to other people. Also I was married for 20 years. She's great, my ex-wife, thank goodness, a great mom, great person. But she was trying to live with me during that, about 10 years of that.
Of you being on OxyContin.
Well, I was on OxyContin for about a year and a half. Then I got off of that, went back to Vicodin. Got off of that, went back to Suboxone, which, and I was about 15 years.
Someone prescribing.
Yeah,
so you're getting a doctor.
Well, yes, not the OxyContin at first. It got so much that I was having to get it off the street. Because I was taking, at one point, right after I finished playing in about 2001, I was taking about 50 Vicodin and about 10 OxyContin a day. And the 10 OxyContin equate to 1 equals like 7 Vicodin. So, 100 pills a day and just chewing them up, get them in my system faster, never with water or anything like that.
Yo.
It's a good thing, though, that I'm not really a drinker and wasn't drinking. I would have died for sure, yeah.
At your worst, how did it manifest in your life?
I got arrested. I was in Phoenix, and apparently I had stolen some shit from the Apple store and didn't really know it. And as I sit here, I want to crawl under the table. This is the stuff that I kind of, I've got kids.
Right. Okay.
But but I got arrested, and at that point, I just knew, look, I've let down my family, my kids, all that stuff, people that know me, their kids, all that stuff. And a former teammate of mine at UK, he runs a place called the Brook Hospital. And so I went there for about a month, back to rehab. It was my 3rd time in rehab. And so I went back there. And for whatever reason, this time I left. I went out to stay with John Lucas in Houston, who I love.
A great, yes.
That Luke is my guy.
Yeah, man. Who came through his own thing.
Yeah, he's a star. And so I went out there for about 3 months, and then I just I lived with a buddy out in L.A. for about a year and a half. I weighed about 260 and had to lose about 60, 70 pounds, and it just took time. Yeah, I really given up, and I think the main thing, too, I had been recognized from such a young age in Kentucky that when I finished playing, I really just wanted to disappear, kind of. And I realized, too, the heavier I am, the less people recognize me. Wow. And so now I know that I'll start, I've got a thing about it now. I'm like, all right, but maybe I'll go out and nobody will recognize me at the mall. So, but I know for me and my health that I just got to stay. I got to swim every day and do all the things that I need to do to stay good.
Rex Chapman, wow. Now as you're talking, I'm like, the worst thing in the world is to be famous. I was talking to Jordan Sparks about this. You have a talent, you have a gift. You just want to play ball. Yeah. You don't want fame. You don't want people coming up getting autographs and pictures and things. You just want to do what you do.
Yeah.
And then to have that extra burden, and now you're addicted. And people who are suffering with addiction, because it is a disease. Yeah. It didn't matter whether you were married, your children, you were chasing after that, and people can't judge you for that. But at the same time, it took you 3 times. What was the last time? What was it about that last time that made it stick?
Probably a combination of things. Hopefully it was getting wiser, but also my money was running low. I made probably $40 million playing basketball. And
40.
Yeah, with endorsements and stuff like that. But yeah, back in the day, and divorce and taxes and bad decisions and buying 3 cars every year and all the stupid shit. I didn't have any money growing up. What am I going to do? How do I know what to do with it? Really? How am I going to know what to do with it? I remember calling my agent or my money manager. I was 20 and said, "There's a car down here. It's a Ferrari, 150 grand. Do I have enough money?" He said, "Well, yeah." I said, "Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to go get this." And that's what I did all the time. And that's what a lot of guys, that's what we do. And I'm hoping it's changing. I go back and I talk to the rookies now at the rookie thing, but
they don't listen because they send people. The NBA has all kind of people talking to them about money.
But listen, it's hard. How are you going to know? And then it's not the real world.
Right.
It's not the real world. You got everybody doing everything for you. I'm still learning to pay my taxes and do shit that
adult people
do.
Right.
And I can get overwhelmed by it at times. Like just going down to the DMV and like I just have a panic attack and need to get out of there. And I'm a grown man. I should be able to do those things. So I'm fighting through those things now. But as basketball players, as pro athletes, it's not real. It's not real, and you can get lulled into believing it is and get intoxicated with your fame and your shit like that.
So you replace one drug with another.
And look, here's the other thing I'll say about that is when you're playing a sport, with football or basketball, baseball, whatever, when you dunk on somebody, right? Or you run into somebody and you guys get into it, there's an exhilaration that your
endorphins, your adrenaline,
and that's what I'm saying. And when you do it every day for years and years and years, you don't realize that you're gonna miss that because you can't just run into a dude down here in the street.
Stiff arm him
no,
and
you
then
can't
knock
do
his
it
ass
straight
out.
to jail. Yeah. But you can do that, and you can do it every day, whether
and get paid a lot of money and get a lot of applause.
That's right. and even in practice, though, going down to practice, taking out frustrations on whatever's going on in your personal life against that guy or whatever it is, you get that physical thing. And football's got to be even more different,
which is why we see so many problems.
That's right, because it's you got to play that game, and I don't know how you turn that off when you get mad. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying it's just it blows me away.
We're talking with Rex Chapman, the great Rex Chapman. I just love you.
Thank you.
How many years have you been sober?
It's been just right at 5 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a chip, or do you?
No, I don't.
Do you keep it on the calendar? Is there a place where you?
September 29th. I just know that, and that did just pass. So it's 5 years with no pain medication at all. Thank you. But you know what? I really did get lucky in this regard because every time I got out of rehab, I had a pit in my chest or a stomach, and I attribute it to Jones and to withdrawal. And every time after the first time I had a surgery, they put me back on the Vicodin, and I should have told him but I didn't. And I took it, and that went away. Well, it turned out years later, when I got out of rehab the last time, I had massive pain, and they sent me to the hospital, and I had ulcers because opioids cause ulcers, but then mask the pain.
Right.
So I'd had ulcers for years. They put me on the pain medication or the ulcer medication, and in 2 days, I felt great, and I don't have what I always considered withdrawal for that. Wow. Yeah, and now, so I feel blessed in that regard, but yeah, anyway.